And we're live now. We're live now. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to my sports YouTube channel, CW Sports. When I do sports content and interviews with athletes and sports related people. And for the first time, we're going to explore and talk about uh, the environment or the world of college basketball in the United States. And my guest here is Dawda Sylva, who's going to talk about his athletic career so far. So, Dawda, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my space. And it's so good and a pleasure to have you here, man. How are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I am doing good. I mean, it's the weekend, so just resting my body a little bit. As a student athlete, we usually just take a Sunday off. So, taking good care of that day off.
Okay, I can understand that. So, anyway, let's talk about your beginnings, a little bit about you, where you're from, where you grew up, and how do you start with the sport of basketball?
I am Dawda Sylva. I'm originally from the Gambia, West Africa. I started playing basketball, when I was about 11, 12. But when I was way younger, I always had a basketball hoop at my house. My big cousin used to hoop. He used to play basketball. So I used to, shoot around, but not never take it serious when I was younger. I played soccer. When I started, growing up, I started, transitioning from soccer to basketball. I started everything in Gambia. It's not like one of those places like the US or Europe where basketball is really famous. So when I started playing, not a lot of people were playing basketball. So the number of people that play basketball was just small compared to now that we have a lot of kids that play basketball back home. But yeah, it was a struggle. You had to get on YouTube, learn how to dribble, learn how to do some move, how to shoot properly as like a basketball player, how to make a layup. There was nothing like, personal trainers or coaches that would have that time to give you that one-on-one, because the game was growing. So yeah, so it was a humble beginning. I loved, every aspect of it. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So, not only basketball, used to play football. Well, I call it football. So, where I'm from, I call it football.
Yeah, yeah, we call it
So,
football too.
okay. So, when you play football, like what position, like do you like to you
Oh,
used to play?
I was a striker. I was blessed with just scoring goals, so there was nothing else to it. I still have the skills a little bit, but I used to be a huge football fan. Like, I used to dream about, playing like Cristiano Ronaldo, um, just buy the whole kits from the total 90 shoes all the way up, jerseys, everything matching. I don't know why, things took a turn and I played basketball, but I thought it was gonna be football. I thought I was gonna be a football player.
Okay. And growing up, since you play basketball, what basketball players you used to watch or do you like to watch?
The first basketball highlight that I watched was a Steph Curry highlight. Yes, we
Oh,
knew about Michael Jordan, but when I was playing, Michael Jordan was no longer like he retired a long time ago. But I was looking at current players. I don't know, for some reason, I watched the first mixtape that was Steph Curry shooting 3 pointers. It was just magical. From there, I started falling in love with his game, started using so many stuff that he does and then added it to my game. I was skinny, I was small, so I could relate a little bit with Steph Curry compared to some of my friends that used to look at LeBron James. So they were already tall, bigger. So it made sense. So for me, I started resembling my game a little bit with Steph Curry, step back shootings, working on my ball handlings with two balls, sometimes getting the tennis ball, just doing some other training. So I think, watching Steph Curry has definitely increased my love for the game and improvement.
okay. You also mentioned that you used to play football, but growing up, when you play football, and what footballers you like to watch? Just
Oh,
Cristiano Ronaldo?
yes, I used to watch Cristiano Ronaldo. And then we had Neymar. Neymar started coming up, when he started moving to Barcelona and then started playing. Oh, I used to enjoy watching Neymar. And then when he went to PSG, that was different because I play FIFA, and then PSG was my favorite team way before, you know, Mbappe and Neymar went there when Zlatan Ibrahimovic was there. And it was just beautiful when Neymar went there. It was great because I could increase so many, stuff to do on, soccer, and then also do it on FIFA.
Okay, now let's talk about more about your basketball career. To play basketball, to play to achieve your goal playing college basketball here in the United States. You play high school basketball in Gambia or you play in the US?
It's both in the Gambia and in the US because I just transitioned here about 4 years ago. So basically, in Gambia, it's nothing like the US. The high school basketball in Gambia is not compared to the US or any country. So if you're a high school basketball player in Gambia, it's the same as a normal basketball player. You go to an academy or a team which is closer to your neighborhood, and then you play for them. So once you play for them, that's when you go to the national league because we didn't have no high school league. We only had one national team league. That's where everybody would go and play because the game was not that big. Now we do have academic leagues where people playing for the main league, Division 1, Division 2, and academic. Just not compared to the US where you come in, you have your team, your high school team that's compete with other high school teams. So yeah, but I did have both experience. Lucky enough, I can relate to both.
Okay. Now, how do you manage to get to play for the? You say that you're in a Waynesboro, playing college basketball for Waynesboro University,
Yes.
right? Okay. And how do you manage to get like a scholarship or being able to play for that college?
So funny story is that my main coach right now had a high school coach. So his high school coach saw me playing and was really interested with the way I'm playing. I was like, you know what? I don't know you personally, but the way you play, you have a bright future. If you get to the right coach, you can be extremely good. So that's where he took my email, took my contact information, and just took it and sent it to my current coach right now. So that's how it was. It was just through knowing somebody, and then my coach sent me a message, and then we started talking, and then I came for a visit. They pay for everything. I came for a visit, came over, show everything about the school, not only basketball, but we have the eHive. We have so many places that you can help yourself academically. And I was like, you know what? Both basketball, which is athletic, and academic side is good with this school. I think I'm gonna choose this school. It's the right fit for me, and it's a small school too. I don't like big schools. I just like a small type of school that you can help grow. Not too many distraction.
Okay. And the basketball team is not like Division 1 basketball, right?
No, it's not. It's Division 3.
Division 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And since now you're in the world of college basketball, even if it's a Division 2 school, Division 3 school, like in your case, even if it plays Division 3 basketball, how hard it was for you like to be able to get a chance at a scholarship? How much did it cost you to manage to go play college basketball there?
Well, for college basketball, there's different division. Like you said, Division 1, you get a full scholarship. Division 2, you do get a full scholarship sometimes, or you have partial scholarship. So for me, I'm not only an athlete, so I'm also an academic weapon. I also have so many other stuff that I do, which is not basketball, like community service. Um, I've been doing that since I was in the Gambia. So they do offer academic scholarship for Division 3. They don't offer athletic scholarship. So what they did was I also looked at some of the other organizations where I can get scholarships and do community service. So they're both athletic and both academic and also other stuff like community service, leadership scholarship. Those were other stuff that I was able to get and be able to come to the school.
Okay, and once your college career is over, would you like to play like pro basketball one day?
Oh yeah, I think that's my dream. I would love to play. I always wanted to come to the US. Let's be frank. I always wanted to come to the US because of the basketball culture. I also wanted to get a degree, and I'm glad that I am on that path and I'm closer to it. So if I can get that, get my degree, I would definitely love to go play pro because now I have my degree. Then I can go play pro. It can be any country, I don't mind. It can be here in the US, it can be in South America, Asia, Europe. I don't mind. I just want to fulfill my, childhood dream of becoming a professional and compete at a high level. And yeah,
Okay, now let's talk about the scene of basketball in Africa. How do you see African basketball since you're from Gambia? Do you see it's growing, it's developing more? How do you see it?
African basketball is growing. I think everybody is on, joining the trend. Not only Africans now. Before, like you said, like I just said, I wanted to come to the US for opportunity to play basketball. We are now seeing people coming from the NBA G League going to the BAL, which is the Basketball Africa League, to compete there. So that alone shows you that the game itself is growing at a very high level. And that's on the professional level. Now, let's talk about the academic level. My country itself, we do have a lot of players that are young in middle school, going to high school, that show up every day, like 6 times a week, just to work out, just to work on their game. Honestly speaking, when I was growing up, I can count few numbers with my hands that would show up at my age when I was younger, really young in my teenage, going to the gym, going to the basketball court at the park, just working on my game. So now that we're looking at grassroots level itself, a lot of people are growing. And now my best friend and all of my former teammates or other friends that are in the Gambia are having the opportunity to compete and win gold medal for my country internationally in Algeria. And that's just in my country. And then we have a long way to go. We have Senegal. We have the NBA Academy that is based in Senegal. And even way before the NBA Academy, there was the Seed Academy, which is founded by the current president of the Basketball Africa League, which is Amadou Galafal. So they have been doing this for the past 10 years. I mean, seed has been here for the past 15 years, I think, and this has been growing. We have seen that. When you go to Kenya, which is far, far from the West African area, we have Kenya, we have South, Rwanda. There's a huge growth in the game. We even have Libya having teams from Nigeria, all of them competing in the Basketball Africa League. So it's really growing. Most of these players that you are seeing now, most of these players that are going to the Olympics, competing, coming to the US, most of them are these African players, and they're gonna be the future soon.
Okay, I can understand that, and I can and I agree with you because, for example, I remember the Senegal national basketball team in the 2014 FIBA World Cup that they beat
Mhm,
Puerto Rico and Croatia, a European team that Croatia is a top team in Europe, and they were able to beat them in the 2014 FIBA World
mhm,
in a group stage. I remember that game perfectly. Then I just like you said, then we had South Sudan who beat Puerto Rico in the 2024
mhm,
Olympic Games, and they put out a very good performance against the US. In fact, I remember they even lost to the US by only 1 point in an exhibition game, so
mhm.
which was probably
Yeah,
unexpected.
exactly.
Unexpected.
Exactly. See, you got your numbers, so you already proved it. I mean, we all saw it with the South Sudan, and every media company was talking about it. Why would the USA do this? It's just an exhibition game. But the reality is, these are players that have been competing, that have been looking up to some of these players on the US team, and they wanted the chance. And now they're having the chance. I mean, they have no excuses but to show that they are more hungry as well. So, I mean, yeah, just being close to beating the US, and the US is literally the best team right now. They won the Olympics, so, and they proved that they are the best team. But just showing that this is it, it's showing that the future is bright. There's a lot of opportunities where we can have more African kids seeing that, oh, now we don't need to look up to. I mean, I'm not saying nobody should look up to Steph Curry. Obviously, he's the greatest shooter of all time. I still look up to him. I don't say he's my GOAT, but if he wins one more championship, he might be there. He might be in the conversation. But I'm saying that African kids now don't need to look out to have somebody to inspire them, but they can just look within and see that, oh, we have some of these African players playing for Senegal, playing for Nigeria, playing for South Sudan, which is like, you know, people that I know, like I've seen them play. So yeah, so that's it. Enough motivation is already there.
Yeah, and we mentioned, I mentioned Senegal's results in the 2014 FIFA World Cup, and also mentioned, we mentioned South Sudan's performance in 2024. So, how do you feel? And since you're from Gambia, you're from a country in Africa, how do you, now that you see all this tremendous growth of basketball in Africa, so how do you feel about it?
Yeah, for Gambia, we honestly have an issue right now. We don't have the opportunities. We don't have the funds to be able to compete when we get invited. Because yes, we do get invitations sometimes, even from a grassroots like on the 16, on the 17, and I'm beyond that now. But these are like opportunities where people that I'm way older than can go and compete. But because of lack of funds, lack of, money to go travel, get their allowance, get some jerseys, they don't get the chance to do it. So we do have that issue, and it's really not nice. I am here playing college level right now. I do have some other African friends that I've met along the road, like when I came to the US, and I've seen them go back home, compete for their country. And yes, it's a pride at the end of the day. They're happy doing that for their country. But I also look at it, I'm like, oh, man, I wish I can have that opportunity, but it is what it is. We don't have the opportunity, and I hope that we do have that opportunity while I'm still a basketball player. And then if I become a professional, my goal is to definitely represent my country, just like, Senegal, like you said. Senegal is 6 hours away from my country.
Oh,
I usually go to Senegal like every year on a vacation, just stay there with I have family members in Senegal, just stay there for a month. But the fact that you can see them compete and you cannot do that, it's like, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. But if I could change anything, I would definitely want, things to change and we can have the opportunity to compete for our country.
okay. And tell me, how hard the transition from Gambia to the United States has been for you? Because we know that Gambia is one country with its culture, and the United States is a different country with a different culture. So how hard it
Mhm.
was for you to adapt from from the culture of your country to the culture of the United States? How much did it cost you? Had it cost you? Or how hard it's been for you?
I had the opportunity to have a full scholarship to come here, so just coming here was not really too hard for me to do. But the interviewing process, getting the visa, before even getting an appointment for the visa took a while. Um, so yeah, I was supposed to get here way before, like months before, but COVID hit and I couldn't. I just kept on going to school, just keep working on my game. So after the COVID ended in 2021, things started changing. So the appointments were like 6 months ahead. You have to secure, and that's how I did it. I just secured and just kept waiting. So, I think I waited for like 4 to 6 months to actually have my appointment in June, I think. So Yeah, so it was like that, and I got the opportunity to come to the US. And yes, talking about the cultural shock, yes, there's a huge difference. Coming from a country, as I'll say in Africa, it's in general, and the US have a huge gap when it comes to cultural difference. I'll say communication in general. When we are in the Gambia and you're talking to an elder, like somebody like your mom or somebody older than you don't talk to them and look at them in the eye. You don't do eye contact. That's more like a sign of disrespect. So you
Oh,
gotta bow your head. Yeah, you have to bow your head and just nod and just talk to them and then go down again. But when you do that in the US, let's say a coach is talking to you, right? And it's like serious, like you shouldn't do this. This is how we should do it. And then you're not looking at the coach. Immediately they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's disrespectful. He's rude. I'm talking to him. He's not even looking at me." And that is something that you have to communicate with the coach to understand that it's taking a while for you to adjust. And in general, if you talk to anybody, not only a basketball coach, even if you're having an interview for a visa and you don't look at the counselor properly or eye contact with the counselor, they think that, oh, you're not confident enough or you're not telling the truth. So those are those, and there's some more. That's like, there's a lot of like cultural difference that you have to take it takes a while for you to adjust and you have to keep communicating. But I mean, I still have so many things that I'm still working on when it comes to that. Some of them I cannot even imagine, like I would do it now. And you also looked at how people talk to each other here. They're more free to just say, you know the F word and stuff like that. Back home, yeah, you cannot. You cannot just swear or say the F word or stuff like that. So, yeah, there's more, but those are the stuff that, yeah, I had to deal with a little bit.
oh, okay, I see. And now tell me, if you're watching basketball, either the NBA or from another league in the world, which
Mhm.
players do you like to watch besides Stephen Curry?
Okay, that's a good one. Um, I loved when I was younger, I used to watch De'Aaron Fox too. It's
Oh,
not a long time ago, but like I used to watch De'Aaron Fox, and I remember when he played the game against in college when he was in Kentucky. I watched his game when he was there with Malik Monk, Bam Adebayo. When they were playing against UCLA, Lonzo Ball, it was an epic game. So when he came to the NBA, I kept on watching, I kept on watching. So just seeing how he has transitioned to being a quick guy, to controlling his pace, doing hitting the mid range, being a good point guard, it has really taught me a lot about my game, and I've been trying to do that. I also watch what's the play again? Um Clay Thompson
oh,
when he was good, because I wanted to work on my shooting form. And I knew that Steph Curry's shooting form was good, but if you're a hooper, you know that if you watch it how Clay Thompson shoots the ball, it can it can really help you in your game. So I used to watch Clay Thompson a lot too. But yeah, I'll say De'Aaron Fox more aside from Steph Curry. But I'm a huge Steph Curry fan, so I always watch his game before if I watch his highlight before any game, it kind of helps me a lot during the game. So yeah.
okay. And another question: once when you had to move from Gambia to the United States, which was one of the which were some of your biggest challenges or some of the most difficult part, like being apart from your loved ones, missing events from your events, family events there. What were some of the biggest challenges or most difficult parts for you?
Yeah, it's still a challenge, honestly speaking. I really miss my family. Um there's a lot of events that I've missed. There's so many stuff that you cannot do it here in the US because you're the only one here. Um and you cannot do it with your family because of the distance. You cannot just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and come back." Nah. So yeah, that's like when I first got here, there's something called the honeymoon stage where you're enjoying the US and like, oh, they have nice basketball courts. Yeah, this is cool. I enjoy it. The culture here with the sport culture. Everybody knows about sport or basketball. And then, 3 months later or 4 months later, you start getting homesick, missing your family a little bit. Like, yeah. So yeah, it's a struggle, honestly speaking. And I think every international student go through it. I had other friends that were international student by the time who are not only from, Africa. Some of them were from Serbia. The other one was from Chile. So yeah, we could all relate. So when we were like, going through it, we could, always, find ways to play video games, just go shoot around when we don't have practice or when the basketball season was over. But yes, it is a struggle because you see your family taking pictures when it comes to some events. Um, we do have Ramadans, sometimes when you're fasting alone and it's time to break your fast, you just remember when you were young, doing it with your whole family. So yeah, it's still a struggle. You still miss your family. I mean, but yeah, we gotta handle business.
Yeah, no. Uh, so tell me, what do you think should happen so basketball can improve, or to improve, get better, or to progress more in Africa? What do you think should happen? Like more support, people watch it more people practice it. What do you think should happen so it can get better and improve there?
Yeah. I would say that for basketball to get like recognized and get the improvements that it's supposed to have, we should definitely invest more into like infrastructural development. And when I say that, I mean building a lot of basketball parks, like basketball court outside. If we can have like in one country, let's say every neighborhood it has like a basketball place, like a youth center, but with the basketball gym, like how you see in the US. If you go to every neighborhood, you have the park where you can go shoot around, work on your game. I think that would really make a lot of difference because where I'm from, you can count the number of basketball courts in the city. So you can literally count it. While some other places like in Senegal, Nigeria, you cannot. There's a lot of places where there's a lot of stuff, but they still do have, bigger countries. Gambia is a country with, 2.3 million people almost now, maybe 3 million, I'm not sure, but it's still a small country compared to Nigeria and other places. But if we want to grow it, let's say generalize it in Africa, we need to improve on that, make sure that we build more indoor courts, invest a little bit in sport because it's an economic growth. Once you start doing that, a lot of people start investing. You start having every team in each neighborhood. A lot of people start cheering for their city or their town. When they have games, everybody will come and show up at that gym, pay ticket. That ticket could be revenue, and it can improve a little bit of whatever you want to build in that community. And it's also going to help the personal development of these kids. Let's say the benefits of indoor courts. When I was in Africa, when it rains, you cannot practice. So if imagine we have a covered, gym which has roof and everything. If you go hoop, work on your game, raining, whatever is happening, you're still gonna be working on your game. So it's an opportunity for kids to get better faster than the delays with rain and wind and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's a start. If they can do that, it can open a lot of doors.
Oh, okay. Uh, Forgot to ask you, what position do you play?
I play forward now, but originally I was a point guard. But college they just put you as a forward. But I can be a shooting guard sometimes. But now I'm getting into shooting guard more, handling the ball, shooting, driving. So yeah.
Oh, okay, you're a forward.
hmm
Okay, well, would you like to be like a more like a shooting guard or a point guard in a future if it's
I
possible?
mean, I would love to. You see Jimmy Butler, right? He can shoot the ball,
Yes.
he can drive. I would love to, put that into my game a little bit. Um, but I'm also a defensive guy. I love to play defense. I love to grab rebounds, get a steal. So I feel like shooting guard would get me a little bit of that opportunity. So that, I can keep getting better for the professional level.
Okay, so we can finish it here, end it here. So we'll tell that thank you for accepting. Thank you for accepting being on the channel. It was great to talk about your career,
Mhm.
talk about your goals, and well, the best of luck. And well, and it was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So follow me, subscribe to my channel so you see more sports content, more basketball content, and more interviews with athletes and sports related people, including basketball players like Dawda Sylva, who was my guest here today. So, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.